On January 14th, somewhere between me missing the stream and me retroactively fangirling over the new Fire Emblem trailer that I missed, Nintendo announced Pokemon Shuffle, a free-to-play game that... who am I kidding? It's Candy Crush with Pokemon. Match 3, get points, run out of hearts, stop playing. I've played Candy Crush, and I love Bejeweled Blitz, and the latter works much better than the former, let me tell you. Candy Crush? More like Soul Crush, am I right? But it's only because it bases itself on creating just possible scenarios that only exist to poke you into purchasing power-ups. Let's not mince words. I could have been describing Pokemon Shuffle with that last sentence as well. To be honest, I was kind of hyped about Pokemon Shuffle. I like free things, you like free things, and all of us like Nintendo, so hey, there's a chance this could be good, right? Well, I have to admit it. It's better than Candy Crush, at least. There's a tiny bit more strategy thanks to Pokemon types and abilities, so you feel like you at least have something that will give you an advantage, even if it's only minuscule. This, along with the experience and leveling system, helps Pokemon Shuffle feel a little more like an actual game than a Candy Crush cash grab, since even if you keep feeling a stage, you're working on leveling up your Pokemon and doing a few more points of damage each time you make a match. At its best, it's as fun as you can expect from a Match 3 puzzle game featuring Pokemon. But at its worst, it comes close. It really does. But then you hit these mega stages and all the things that make this game better than its distant kin get thrown out the window. No Mega Evolutions, levels, or type matchups will give you the advantage in these later stages. It comes down to luck and money. Mega Walwile, Mega Glalie, Mega Gengar, Mega Mewtwo, they're all wickedly hard, and unless some god decides to smile upon you, they're going to drain your hearts and your coins. Now, you might call me a pussy who can't take the difficulty, but seriously, think about how easy it is to crank up the difficulty in this game. All it takes is increasing the number of blocks the boss can freeze or change, and voila! Instant challenge. At least with Mega Mewtwo, you'll sometimes get so cornered that sometimes you'll only have one possible move you can make each turn. There's no strategy or skill there, and it's not fun. Heck, you can go ahead and spend your coins, but if you don't have at least a little luck on your side, it's possible you get stuck right where you would if you approached the stage normally. So what did I expect, right? It's a free game with microtransactions. That's how they work. That's how they get their money out of their venture. I know, I've played Candy Crush, but that's just the point. This isn't Candy Crush. This isn't some soul-sucking game that someone stole from an age-old formula into which they shoved microtransactions. This is a game made by a well-known company who makes really good games big and small. This is from Nintendo. There's a good game to be had here. Pokemon Shuffle is much better designed than Candy Crush. It's got varied gameplay, much more character, and a slew of mechanics that are meant to lull you into thinking you've got some control. Some stages are decently thought out in their design, and the S-ranks are actually puzzles that you're rewarded for solving. Doing better in new stages help you catch Pokemon you're facing, though in some cases, like the Legendaries and the Expert stages, the deck is still stacked far too hard against you. Still, the mechanics are all there to reward players who put in the time and effort. They just aren't encouraging. 30 coins per repeated victory outside of Meowth is a pittance, especially considering you've only got so many hearts to work with. Why not hand out slightly more coins with higher ranks? When catching Pokemon, why not have the final combo give an extra % to the catch rate for every match you get? That's a matter of luck that's actually helpful. Now, how about rewarding combos in the battle system itself? For every subsequent match and combo, add an extra 3 damage, or 2 damage. Just enough so that it adds up and rewards clever moves. The game isn't about points, so anything that nets you extra points, like combos, is essentially just there for show, unless it's a competition match, which, by the way, is a neat idea, if not somewhat infuriating to the 80,000 people who came out of that unlucky. Really, there's a lot that could be done in this game. In some areas, it doesn't even follow with the themes of the other Pokemon games. There's essentially a right and wrong answer for which Pokemon you pick. Pokemon don't evolve in this game, and the stats in this game are so clumped together, attack power ranges from 30 to 80 across over 150 levels, that sometimes, by the time you get a Pokemon's evolved form, it's somewhat useless because its pre-evolved form is already stronger than it. Training new Pokemon with higher potential is tedious and unappealing because, again, you only have so many hearts to work with. So essentially, the way to win is to catch all the Pokemon with the highest base stats and not really your favorites. In the main game, you can find a way to get by with whatever Pokemon you liked, but in Shuffle, you're really just stuck with the ones that happen to have the right types and the right attack power, even if it means sticking with some of the same Pokemon throughout the game and ditching others before they even get a chance to shine. Again, it's a free game based on a very common and simple playstyle, but it's one of those games that almost does better and almost gets it right. It feels unbalanced. Some parts of the game are really fun, and others make me want to throw my DS against a wall for how blatantly unfair they're meant to be. This is a Nintendo game, and as its brand suggests, there's going to be a fan base of actual game fans who play it. People who enjoy challenge and enjoy putting time into the game. And these people are likely inherently against paying for the game if it's supposedly free to play. I speak to a larger population here because I know I'm not the only one who feels this way. Nintendo fans are Nintendo fans because they're loyal to the brand and to good games. This is why they're still willing to shell out the big bucks versus a mobile casual gamer who spends far less on their games. It's kind of an interesting contradiction to think that these aren't the people that are going to drop money on Pokemon Shuffle. Those people are going to put in time and effort to win, as per a more traditional game experience. If I might theorize briefly, it's because these people pay for the game, for the fun, and for the challenge, and the power-ups for which Pokemon Shuffle charges you are none of these things. No one would pay for something that would play for them in the real game, and that's what the power-ups and extra hearts do. They let you get through the games faster than it naturally intends. The mobile-type players still see beating a level by any means as an accomplishment, while traditional gamers do not. So, in the end, the money is going to come from those with less gamer sensibilities anyway, while all the people who would have paid for the game itself challenge themselves to tough it out without paying. The issue is, the pace that the game sets betrays these people by grinding to a halt with every Mega Evolution. So while I encourage Nintendo to give me more free games, I want them to simply remember that just because a game is free doesn't mean it have to oh shit, it's time to play another 5 rounds!